25th September 2022. Madhuban, Avyakt BapDada, Om Shanti. Revise, 24th of September 1992. The Murli's title is The Particular Difference Between Truth and Falsehood. Today, the Father, the Comforter of hearts, has especially come to fulfill the desire of all his children and to celebrate a meeting with them. All the children are always celebrating a meeting in the Avyakt form anyway. Nevertheless, there is always the desire to celebrate an Avyakt meeting through the physical form as well. This is why the Father also has to come from the Avyakt into the corporeal. At this time, BapDada is seeing all the children in this land and the children abroad. In their minds, all are in Madhuban. You are here in your physical forms, and all the other innumerable children are celebrating a meeting in their subtle forms. BapDada is also giving all the children the return of their love. Wherever you are, in your remembrance, you are close to the Father's heart. BapDada is hearing the music of everyone's love. The Father knows that for the children, there isn't anyone to remember the children except the Father. And for the Father too, there is no one except you children. You remain constantly in the awareness that you belong to the Baba and that Baba belongs to you. This awareness is easy and it will also makes you powerful. Such loving children who are embodiments of remembrance can never be weak, not just physically, but even in their dreams. To be weak means powerless, means that instead of my Baba, you have the consciousness of mine for something else. To have the awareness of my Baba means to celebrate a meeting. If instead of one there is the consciousness of mine for two, what happens then? One is a meeting, means a mela, and the other is a chows, means jamela. Some children think that Baba is theirs anyway, but that they also have to say mine for one or two others. They say, I don't need anyone else, but I do need some support. However, what was your promise? Was it to belong to the one Father and none other, or was it to belong to the one Father and one other? You became innocent then. In that one, there are many others included, and this is why it becomes a jamela. You can still find such toys in this old world where it seems like one externally, but it is one inside another. Inside another means Russian dolls. You open one and there is another one inside it. When you open the second, there is another one inside it. This is also like such a toy. Visibly, it is only one, but merged in the one are many others. So how can you celebrate a meeting when you end up in chows? Will you just be caught up in the chows, or will you celebrate a meeting? Don't think that it is just two. Apart from the Father, if you accept any other soul or even any facilities of matter as your support, even just in your thoughts, then this godly machinery works at a very fast speed in an automatic way. The second that you make someone or something else your support, in that very second, the mind and intellect have stepped away from the Father. Because of stepping away from the Father, who is the truth, the intellect will begin to consider something false to be true and something wrong to be right. It begins to make wrong judgments. Then, no matter how much someone tries to explain that is not right, The one with the power of falsehood will prove it to be correct and right things to be wrong to the one who is trying to explain to him. Always remember that nowadays, according to the drama, it is the kingdom of falsehood, and that the ruling president of falsehood is Ravan. He had so many heads. That is his power of falsehood. It's so great. His ministers and great ministers are also very great. His judges and lawyers are also very clever. This is why they give a variety of points for a false judgment in a very sweet way. This is how they are very clever in proving something false to be true. However, what is the particular difference between truth and falsehood? Victory for falsehood is temporary because the kingdom of falsehood is temporary. Defeat for truth is temporary and victory for truth is permanent. Those who are victorious on the basis of falsehood become happy just for that time, for the little time that they celebrate in happiness. They consider themselves to be right. However, when the temporary period of falsehood comes to an end and when the victory of truth is revealed, to the extent they celebrated in pleasure under the influence of falsehood, so there is accordingly 100-fold repentance for the falsehood because you stepped away from the Father. You didn't step away physically. In a physical way, you consider yourselves to be knowledgeable, but you stepped away with your mind and intellect. To step away from the Father means that instead of becoming full of the right to all attainments for all time, you only claim half a right. Some children think that they should at least celebrate the pleasure and happiness of victory in the kingdom of falsehood with the power of falsehood for this time now. Because who has seen the future? Who will see anything anyway? We will have forgotten, and everyone else will also have forgotten. However, that is a judgment based on falsehood. The future is the shadow of the present. The future cannot be created without the present. A soul under the influence of falsehood can swing in the swings of the temporary happiness of receiving name, respect, honor, etc. But such a soul cannot swing in the swing of supersensuous joy. That soul can celebrate the pleasure of temporary name, respect, and honor, but he cannot receive the love and blessings from the hearts of all souls. He can attain superficial love, but not respect from the heart. He can receive temporary honor, but cannot experience the honor from the Father of being seated on his heart throne. Through the companions of falsehood, he can attain name, but cannot claim a name on BapDada's heart, because he has stepped away from BapDada, let alone the future that is understood anyway. There is so much difference between the present attainments received from truth and falsehood. To make one other belong to you means to make falsehood your support. That is such a jhamela. You would say for the sake of saying it. It isn't anything else. But sometimes I need a little support. However, to break a promise means to get caught up in a jhamela. Did you promise that one Baba is yours and that there can sometimes be another? Is a second one allowed? Was that what you wrote? Even if you take the support of temporary name, respect, and honor, or of a person or any physical possession, when you had promised there would be none other. Where did the other come from? All of that is the cleverness to trap you in the jhamela of the kingdom of falsehood. The Father says that children know me, number-wise as I am and what I am. In the same way, you don't always know Ravan, the ruler of falsehood, as he is and what he is. Sometimes you forget and sometimes you know him. He is a ruler and therefore that power would be no less. Whether it's false or true, it is his kingdom. Therefore, check yourself, not others. Nowadays, everyone has become clever at checking others. BapDada says, become your own checker and the maker of others. However, what do? You became the checker of others and the maker of many stories. What story of all the children does BapDada hear every day? The book of stories is very big. So check yourself. When you begin to check others, they become long stories. Whereas when you check yourself, all the stories end and there would then only be the one true life story of the practical form. Everyone says, Baba, I love you a lot. Do you just say it or do you truly have that love? What would you say? Sometimes you just say it and at other times you have that love for him. The Father has given the practical proof of the Father's love. Whatever you are, however you are mine. However, you children now have to give the proof. What proof do you have to give? The Father says, whatever you are, however you are mine. So what will you say? You are everything for me. It should not be that there is a little of something else too. You have love for the Father, but you sometimes get influenced by the kingdom of falsehood. Acha, to all the true children everywhere who belong to the true Father and who recognize the real truth, to the elevated souls who are merged in love, to the powerful souls who constantly fulfill all their promises, to all the powerful souls who recognize the truth, to all those who remain free from obstacles with remembrance and service, to the children who remain constantly in the company of and stay close to the Father, love, remembrance, and namaste. The spiritual children says namaste and good morning to the spiritual Father. BapDada meeting Madhuban residents. How much practical and visible fruit do the Madhuban residents receive? What is the speciality of Madhuban that cannot be found anywhere else? Those who live on the elevated field of action always follow the Father. The speciality of Madhuban is that it is the special field of action of Father Brahma. So the residents of Madhuban are following the Father in every action they perform on the field of action. Actions are the speciality. So, are you following in actions? Are you following the Father in all the actions you perform from Amrit Vela until night time? The residents of Madhuban have extra power of remembrance on the field of action. Is that visible in your actions or is it going to be visible in your actions? What would you say? Do you look at yourself? Bring every step in front of you, getting up, sitting, walking, speaking, coming into contact and relationship with others. Are you following Father Brahma's actions in everything? This is the benefit of the field of action, is it not? So are you taking that much benefit? What do the Shaktis think? Those in Madhuban can take the benefit of the field of action. Others have to come here to take that, whereas you have already received it. It is the land of blessings and the land of actions. So, is each action worthy of blessings so that only blessings emerge from the lips of anyone who sees that action? This is known as receiving blessings from the land of blessings. Even if you are performing ordinary actions, let some speciality be visible in those ordinary actions. Thus is the speciality of Madhuban, is it not? The special elevated hope that Father Brahma has in those who stay on the field of action is that every Brahmin soul in Madhuban, every elevated soul becomes a mirror of the actions performed by the Father Brahma. So, what do you see in the mirror? This is what is visible. Is it not? When you stand in front of a mirror, would you see an identical image of yourself, or would you see someone else? So the Father Brahma's actions should be visible in the mirror of your actions. All of you always say that you are fortunate, and you are. However, let Father Brahma's actions be visible in every action of yours. Who will claim this certificate, and when? You are going to claim it, are you not? Or have you already claimed it? For those who have claimed the certificate of Father Brahma's actions being visible in their every action, their words would be like the words spoken by Brahma. Their way of sitting, moving, seeing, interacting would all be like those of the Father. Have you claimed such a certificate? Those who want to claim it, raise your hands. This is also good. Before speaking about it, they would first do it practically. However, you must keep the aim that your every action is equal to that of the Father's. Is it easy to follow Father Brahma? Is it not? To become incorporeal means to remain constantly stable in the incorporeal state. Instead of that, it is easier to follow in actions. So Father Brahma is giving you an easy task to do, not something difficult. So all of you keep this aim that whoever sees you in Madhuban, Father Brahma's action should be visible. In actions, you can make Brahma omnipresent. Wherever they look, they see Brahma's equal. Is that possible? The praise of Madhuban means the praise of the Madhuban residents. It is not the praise of the walls of Madhuban. It is the praise of the residents of Madhuban. You hear the praise of Madhuban from everywhere, every day. Do you not? Whose praise is it? When they praise the Madhuban residents, it is the praise of all of you. Is it not? You have the intoxication that you are the residents of Madhuban. Just as you have this intoxication, so let this intoxication also be visible that you are those who are equal to the Father Brahma and who are following the Father. Acha, are all of you content? Do you need any salvation? You are sitting in the land of salvation. You are sitting here so carefree. You do all the work with your bodies, but otherwise you receive everything ready-made. Those who don't work with their bodies are made to exercise. You are lucky that you don't have to exercise. Your hands and feet are working all the time. The more hard work someone does, the safer he or she remains from Maya and physical illness. The intellect remains busy, does it not? Nothing works in a wasteful way. Those who are always busy are very lucky. Therefore, do not keep yourself free. I have been doing this for a long time. Let me now become free. To remain busy is a sign of having the fortune of happiness. You are fortunate, are you not? Keep yourself constantly busy. Acha, now do something practically and show BapDada. Do you understand? What speciality of Father Brahma did you see on his face? There was maturity, means seriousness, and also a smile. To have maturity means to be introverted. Along with that, he also had an entertaining nature. The sign of his introversion was his constantly being an image of maturity lost in the depths of the ocean. His face was that of being lost in churning and thinking, and even then he was always smiling. You saw both these qualities on his face. Therefore, let your faces too be copies of Father Brahma's face. Let Father Brahma be visible in your face and in your form, because Madhuban was Brahma Baba's service place and the place where he acted. Therefore, let the same acts and service be seen in those who live on this land. Constantly keep the lamps of this hope ignited. This is the hope that Father Brahma has in you. Now celebrate Deepavali in this way. Ignite the lamp of this one hope BapDada has in you. When each of you ignites this Deepak, means lamp, it will be Deepamala, means a rosary of lights. If one or two lamps in a circle of lights go out, does it look nice? If even one or two lamps are flickering, it doesn't look nice. This is why all of you lamps have to remain ignited in this Deepamala. All of your residents of Madhuban should be justice, self-justice. Before you judge anything, you should first judge yourself. Your time and the time of others won't then be wasted. Madhuban is the peace palace. When you have peace of mind and peace on your lips, the rays of peace will spread from Madhuban, the peace palace. Everyone who is distressed by their own self ask, all of you who live in the peace palace, for alms of peace. Your rays of peace have not yet reached those who are making preparations for destruction. This is why there is a tongue of war. Sometimes you have peace and sometimes there is peacelessness. In order to specify them, your rays of peace from the peace palace have to reach them. Only then will their intellects make the final decision. They will destroy everything. Everyone will then return home peacefully to the land of peace. Therefore, now become great donors and bless such beggars that thus great devotion. BapDada always considers you residents of Madhuban to be the close dwellers who will bring souls of the world close to BapDada. Therefore, give this proof. When all of you copies are exactly the same as Brahma Baba, the unlimited bombs will be dropped. Then there will be the celebration of fireworks and also the coronation. Now fix the date for this. That date will be when each of you becomes a photocopy of Brahma Baba. You residents of Madhuban can do whatever you want. Acha, so what are all of you thinking about? Not only does BapDada have a camera for the thoughts and the mind, but BapDada can clearly see what is going on each one's mind. Even now, scientists are trying to invent a camera that can pick up someone's line of thoughts inside. Those poor, helpless scientists are making so much effort. Whilst they are trying to invent such things, they will be left out and you will make use of the facility they have already created for you. Acha, blessing. May you protect yourself from bad and wasteful company with the power of recognition and become a powerful soul. Explanation. Some children protect themselves from bad company, but they are influenced by wasteful company. because wasteful things are entertaining and externally attractive. This is why BapDada's teaching is do not listen to anything wasteful, do not speak anything wasteful, do not do anything wasteful, do not see anything wasteful, and do not think anything wasteful. Became so powerful that no color other than the color of the Father's company can influence you. With the power of recognition, recognize bad and wasteful company in advance and transform it. You will then be said to be a powerful soul. Slogan: in order to experience lightness, constantly keep a balance of being a master and a child. Om Shanti